Welcome to the 2018 Visordown Superbike test, and we've got a top class location for these top class bikes as well. First up, we've got a full day on track at Donington Park with the good guys from Focused Events Track Days. Then we're hitting the streets. Full day out on the amazing road around Melton Mowbray, really some of the best roads in the country around here. Let's see how they go. First up, we've got Kawasaki ZX-10R SE. This is a fancy new version of the ZX-10R for this year, and it's got forged wheels for race homologation, as well as some all new electronic Showa suspension. Apart from those updates, it's the same 200 odd horsepower inline 4 engine that powered last year's bike, complete with Kawasaki's traction, wheelie and launch control, rider power modes and race ABS. It's the bike that wins almost every round of World Superbike these days with Johnny Ray and Tom Sykes on board, but how's it going to do today with us mere mortals having a ride on it? Perhaps the most exotic bike here is this Aprilia. It's the RF version of the RSV4 Superbike. The ZX-10R I'm impressed with its light forged wheels, just made the steering a bit easier. The electronic suspension and really good brakes. Peakier power, although it's more suited to use on track than the road, it just drops a mark or two because it was a bit more difficult to access the power. You know, you had to rev a good bit higher before you started to get that grunt back. Next up was the Honda Fireblade. Now again, a name's full of legend, and this is the SP version of Honda's current Fireblade, and that means you get Öhlins electronic suspension, a colour dashboard, nice Brembo brakes, and that sweet HRC colour scheme. It got a new ride-by-wire throttle for last year, and there's a power and torque bump. Although the basic motor and frame date back quite a few years now, the foundations go back quite a way. Nevertheless, it's a fabulous machine, especially on the road, and it looks really superb. It's a real handsome motorbike, this. Suzuki's GSX-R1000 has stacks of heritage behind it, dating right back to the GSX-R750 in 1985, the original. But that's not going to count for much amongst the competition here today. They're not taking any prisoners, are they? Luckily, Suzuki's given it a stonking variable valve motor with a really clever design inside it. It's got Showa BFF gas forks, and Suzuki's a top of the range traction control setup. Considering how much cheaper the GSX-R is, right enough, you know, you could think you could spend a bit of time on some setup, and you could get a lot of track days for that extra 2 or 3 grand that you're saving. Here we get Yamaha's YZF R1M, and with this one, Yamaha's taken the base R1 with its unique Big Bang cross-plane crank engine, and it's cranked the whole thing up to 11 with the R1M. You get carbon bodywork, aluminium tank, electronic semi-active Öhlins suspension, and a really fabulous set of rider aids. You know, there's this GPS data logging, telemetry, ABS, traction control. It's got the works. A bit on the pricey side, this bike, you know, it's over £20,000, but you can definitely see where your money's gone. You know, it's a high quality piece of kit. Next up is BMW's S1000RR. BMW's Superbike is 8 years old now, amazingly, but it's really turned into a bit of a legend over that time. It's amazing on the road. There's stacks of power from the inline 4 engine, and it's got loads of really useful rider aids and other toys on it, cruise control, heated grips. You know, it's a really sorted piece of kit. And it can cut the mustard in racing too. I mean, it cleaned up at the Isle of Man TT this year. Will it clean up in this test? Let's find out. Now we've got Ducati's Panigale V4S, and this is the big story for this year, of course. It's the only all-new bike here, and it's kind of, you know, it's a big driver behind it, what's important about this test. It's got a 1103cc engine, V4 engine, based on the Desmos Sedici MotoGP engine that makes 199 horsepower at the tyre, would you believe, with 15-20 horsepower more than everything else. The very latest in Bosch rider aids, a traction wheelie, launch and slide control, and it's got full semi-active electronic rolling suspension front and rear. The brakes are brand new, a Brembo Stylema calipers, which is unique to the Panigale for the moment. The wheels are forged aluminium, and the rear Pirelli Supercorsa tyres are brand new 260 section size. At first glance it looks like a bit of a balloon tyre, but it's a totally new rear tyre size, just to give even more grip when you're leaning over. It's a total weapon, this Panigale.